When you stop waiting for your desire and the moment you give up, you will manifest it. And this has happened so many times that it's not even funny. And I can explain to you in this video why that happens. And a lot of people get bothered and they don't like the idea of giving up. And they say that I don't want to give up on my desire, I want it. Well, I will make a distinction for you. The giving up is not on giving up on the desire. The giving up is trying to make it happen with the natural man or the ego mind or this human self. Neville Goddard talked about this idea of the natural man and the spiritual man in his book Thinking Fourth Dimensionally Out of This World. And he made a very nice distinction that the natural man is the man of this world, the natural world. Whatever he sees and perceives with his five senses, seeing, touching, smelling, and all these five senses, and hearing, whatever he perceives from these senses is real to him. And so this natural man is extremely limited because he's the man of this world. He's the animal of the natural world. And the natural world has a whole lot of limitations, if you haven't noticed yet. All magic happens with the spiritual man because the spiritual man is living in the eternal now moment. He's the essence of God. He has everything right now. But God became man, so man may become God. This is Neville Goddard explained it many times in his videos. That God wanted to experience what it is like to be a man. And man has limitations. This is a game. This is a game. It's like a game. Because an infinite being can have everything it wants immediately. So for an infinite being to have a fun in a game, it has to make elusive limitations to it to experience a sort of a gamification of what it's like to be a man. And man has limitations. Natural man has limitations. So the natural man is limited. And whenever you will try to manifest anything with the natural man, you will work hard, you will effort, you will struggle, you will be frustrated, you will be depressed, and you will get some things and other things you will not, because natural man has limitations. So for example, from the perspective of natural man, just like I recently made a video that I bought a flat in Russia, you should watch it next. I've explained everything. But basically buying a flat in Russia for a foreigner right now is impossible. If all their money is outside of Russia. But I did it somehow. And I've explained the entire... So from the natural man's perspective, that was impossible. But spiritual man did it. Because, and how I explained in that video that I gave up at the end. The natural man gave up. I did not give up on the desire. But the natural man, this Adeel, gave up in trying to buy that house. I explained that how I was very late, 3 weeks late. I lost my deposit, and technically the house was gone out of my hands, but spiritual man still got me the house. And so the drama when unfolded, when the date was gone, when I was due to buy the house, the date was gone. So I sort of gave up. I was like, all right, fuck it. Me and my wife said that, okay, whatever happens, happens. We'll see how it goes. And we are done trying to make it happen for now. And that is exactly when the ideas flashed in my mind. And I explained in that video how everything happened. But basically, that is exactly when I bought the house. Everything worked. After that, when the moment I gave up, literally, I'm not kidding you, 3 to 4 days, the whole thing was done. And I was like, bro, I struggled and I killed myself with anxiety for a whole month. And when it happened in 2-3 days. So that's how it works. So the reason I want to explain is when I have given up. So this has been the story of my life. And now I understand why. That the moment you give up on trying to make it happen with the natural man, you automatically sort of have this faith in the spiritual man. You leave it up to God. Spiritual people, religious people will leave it up to God, right? How many times it has happened in religious people's life that they sort of stop trying because reality doesn't seem to change, and they have worked hard to try to get something and it didn't work, and they say, okay, now I leave up to Allah, I leave up to Jesus. And that is exactly when things unfold for them. This exactly happened in my brother's life when he was applying for a government job, and he applied it 2 years ago and he forgot about it. Like, gave the test, he gave the interviews, they said nothing. So he was like, okay, I did my best, now I leave up to God. And who would have thought 2 years later, that's how government works in Pakistan. 2 years later, they call him that you got the job. That's how it works. Because he gave up. He was doing other job. It was not on his mind. He got the job. So this is why it works. Neville Goddard says that each seed has its own appointed hour. If it be late, worry not, it will not be late, because each seed has its appointed hour. So a woman, when gets pregnant, takes 9 months. He gives this example. He gives the example of a horse. I don't exactly know how much time it takes up for a horse, but after pregnancy, every animal has a set limit of time, and in that time, give and take a few days, the child is born. And so when we assume, when we imagine, when we affirm, the seed is already planted. You don't have to feel it super real, you don't have to all these things. Even though Neville Goddard's technique is the best technique, hands down, a state akin to sleep, but I have manifested a bunch of things that I didn't even imagine. I just thought about it. I was like, wouldn't it be nice to have it? And I got it. But why? Right? You're asking why we get some things and other things we don't. Well, here's the answer. You plant the seed and then you worry about it and you dig it up and the tree doesn't grow. And then the next day you plant it again and then you worry about it, you dig it again. This is the problem. We do not let the tree grow. This is why Neville Goddard said so many times that once you have imagined it, like once you have impregnated a woman, you do nothing. The child will be born in 9 months. You do nothing. So he said, go about your day. Imagine it and go about your day. Why was he saying go about? He was saying that don't think about it again, or don't worry about it again. Whenever you think about it, you say it's done and you go about your day. It's not that easy. I understand that, because buying this house, I had a lot of anxiety. I am a human. I was identified with the natural man for a long time. I tried to make it happen. It didn't work. And then I was like, okay, natural man has failed. Let's go to the spiritual man. And the spiritual man worked. It's only worked because I kind of gave up. I planted the seed and I gave up on trying to make it happen. This is when I stopped digging up the seed again and again. And it took 3 to 4 days to buy the house. The natural man was planting the seed, and the next day he was worrying about it and he was plugging the seed out. This is what happened. This is why little things that we don't really give a F about, we don't really care, getting a free coffee, or like I told you about, I got a gaming laptop. I just thought about it and I got it. Or the VR headset. Those things were not super important to me, so I just thought about them and I got them. So I planted the seed. When I thought about it, I was like, it would be nice to have an epic gaming laptop. And that moment, the seed was planted. And I did not dig it up because I did not really think about it again, because it's not important to me. But a house, a flat in Russia, because in Russia, the system is built in a way that you really need to have a permanent house to get registered there. There is a whole registration process which is really annoying here. So owning your own property is very important here if you want to live here long term. So my entire future was dependent on this flat. So you can imagine the anxiety and the thought process of the natural man, not the spiritual man, the natural man. So the natural man he planted the seed so many times that I have the house, and the next moment he was wondering, do I really? And he dug it up again and again and again. So this thing keeps going. And the moment the natural man gave up, voila, within 3 to 4 days, the house was already mine, despite all the so-called impossible circumstances. So I wanted, this is why I'm making this video, to show you that Neville Goddard said many times that you must admit personal impotence. What is personal impotence? It is a simple recognition that the natural man cannot do anything. All things are done by God. The Father within doeth all the works. I on my own do nothing. I think it's a Bible verse, if I'm not mistaken. Jesus said that. So we do nothing. The natural man does nothing. And the natural man can achieve very little. So you must admit personal impotence and leave everything up to the infinite self. And the infinite self, once you have planted the seed will grow. I think there's another verse in Bible, something like if you plant corn, the corn will grow, and if you a mustard seed will only grow in a mustard tree. Neville Goddard said it many times. I'm not sure if it's a Bible verse or not, but once the once the seed has been planted, the spiritual man has the entire thing done. As I said many times in my previous video, the flat video, I said that I am with the vision and the vision is complete. I kept on saying this when I was trying to buy this house, that I don't care about the seeming impossible circumstances. I am with the vision, like I am with the planted seed, and the seed already has all the life in it, all the ways in it, how it will grow. It's not my concern. And so I kept on saying that I'm with the vision and the vision is complete. And so that's when I gave up. I let the seed be, and the seed grew tremendously in just 3-4 days. So the spiritual man has ways that you can never ever devise. And stop worrying that, oh, if I don't do this, it will not happen. You will be given intuition. I explained in this video of buying this flat that I was intuitively, something kept in pestering me within me that I have this another account, I should send money there, I should send money there. And the natural man was afraid that account does not have big limit and I need to send a lot of money. So something keeps on pestering me that I should send money there. So the action will be inspired. You will be intuited from within. The spiritual man will tell you exactly what to do, or it will bring to you to a place where the bridge of incidents will occur. So that's not your problem. So looking back at every single manifestation, now I realize why some manifestations work so flawlessly, some work so easily, some you just think about it and it happens, and others you hit your head against the wall again and again, it doesn't happen. Well, there's your answer. You plant the seed and you dig it out. That's all. Each seed will grow exactly what was advertised. A corn will only grow in corn cobs. So don't keep digging up the seed, and it will happen for you. This is why small things people keep on manifesting. A lot of people come to law of assumption, law of attraction, and they get a lot of small things and they're like, wow, it's so easy. But with the big things, they're like, why is this not happening? Well, here's your answer. Small things, we already accept them to be normal and natural. It's not a big deal. We don't really think about it. We don't really keep on digging up the seed again and again. We think and we let it go, and voila, it appears out of nowhere. So with big desires, I advise you, it's not easy. I'm not gonna claim here that it's easy. I quickly remember that I wanted to make this distinction that all manifestations, big or small, doesn't matter to God, and they're all easy. They're not difficult. The only difficulty is our self-abandonment. The natural man doesn't go away and leave us alone to get what we want. So I've noticed that even with the big desires, when I've given up, it's very easy after that. Why is that so? Because I have stopped feeding the natural man. I'm like, it is what it is. If it shows up, fine. If it doesn't show up, fine. Why? at that moment I have removed all the excess baggage that I was attaching to the manifestation, and then it appears within days. It's so easy. So it's the desires, big or small, doesn't matter. It is, can you abandon yourself, can you self commission yourself to your the spiritual man rather than the natural man. That's it. But this battle is, you want to live with the natural man or the spiritual man. It's a decision. It's a decision. The natural man, if you want to live with the natural man, you have to realize that he is limited. He will fail a lot. While the spiritual man, once you have planted the seed, it is guaranteed to grow. You will get what you want. You just gotta have faith and leave it and let it grow. So this is it for this video. Until next time, bye bye.